I hate when we have to do this, but it is what it is. Y'all said the internet was acting up. I went and checked everything. Everything is fine on my end. We're just going to have to power through. If it's glitching on your side, I don't know what to tell you because the internet is working great. I just ran a test. The internet is working exceptionally well. Y'all do know there's been some solar fires. So if it's glitching, that might be on your end. Um, but this is the last time we're doing this. Because I don't want to do it again. I don't want to do it again. So that just means come on in, thumbs up this video now. Don't thumbs it up later. Do your part, Bay Squad, please and thank you. Share, share, share. That's all I can do. We are going to be talking about MAGA is in shambles, the AI bailout, and of course, Patrick Beverly. I think he is dangerous. I don't think he's a good man. I don't care that he is a black man. Anybody who puts their hands on their sister and tries to unalive them, I don't think you're a good person. I just don't. There's nothing to debate about. I'm not holding my tongue when it comes to that. I think dangerous men use their resources and their power to harm people. All right. Did I tell y'all like, comment, subscribe, tap that notification bell so you can get all the updates and alerts? And remember, opinions are not fakes. Everything we say here is allegedly and for entertainment purposes solely. So sit back, relax, sip you some apple juice or my faith the vegan water, and let's get into the mess. How you can like this video is by double tapping the screen. How you can like this video is by hitting those three dots right there. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Share if you care. Subscribe if you like the vibe. How you can hype up this video, engage with this video, send a monetary donation are these three dots right here. Thank you in advance. Shout out to all the international and domestic babes. Shout out to the OGs and the new babes. And that being said, let's get into the mess. So Patrick Beverly, in my humble opinion, is a degenerate who's been able to earn money. He's from Chicago. He plays basketball on the professional level, the NBA. He's part of that top percentile, right? He also has a podcast. I told y'all when he was saying things about Megan Thee Stallion, I felt like he was anti-black. He was anti-woman. Looking at his wife is a non-black woman, and finding out the details of the case surrounding his 15-year-old sister, it's given incest. It's either given incest, obsession, or honor killing, and I don't like any of them. I don't think it's cool for any grown man to put his hands on a developing young lady. Y'all see, I didn't say woman. Because Megyn Kelly, 15, is still a child. She's still a minor. She can't vote. She can't pay taxes. She can't do any of that. She can't enlist in the army. Like, she can't buy alcohol, can't buy cigarettes. Like, in order for her to travel throughout the domestic U.S., she needs a guardian, a legal one. So here's my thing. When it first transpired and it first happened, Hev Hollywood was the first one I seen cover it. And Hev said he don't like when these celebrities get up here and be like, oh, we're asking for privacy. Absolutely not. We will not be given this degenerate privacy. Why did you choke out your sister? These need to be the questions of the reporters. We need the journalists to get back to journalism. Because if you don't, then it'll be us, the new media. And a lot of y'all don't like new media, and I understand why y'all don't, but we need y'all to start asking sound questions. How come your wife and mother allowed you to harm your sister? You almost unalived her. Anybody that knows anything about DV and situations with extreme child abuse cases, you know that it only takes one more time and the child is up out of there. What else are you doing in the home for you to be so jealous that she was with a 17-year-old boy, one of her peers, and she came to the home at the behest of her mother, and you decide to attack her and cause bodily harm to the point where the young male has to go and call the police. He called 911 because he's not stupid. He knows you're not supposed to hit on women, let alone young girls, and you're a man. If the mother felt like something was wrong, she wouldn't have invited the young man to the home. So it's given, you be in there knocking everybody between the washer and dryer because you can. And this is what I'm talking about when it comes to healing yourself, because she's going to need counseling. And I pray when she gets old enough to separate herself from her mother and brother and sister-in-law, she cuts them all off, include the nieces. Because why even have yourself around people who are comfortable with watching you die? Why would you hang around, eat Thanksgiving around people who were comfortable with watching you? Where's her father? What is going on? And this is what I'm talking about. Y'all think abuse looks like, a woman with a black eye, when it's really everybody's afraid to do something. They just sitting there watching. What else are they sitting there watching? Because we know there's dangerous women out here. They will sit back and watch their man harm a young child. What did Miss O'Girl say? Miss Sophia and them say? A young child ain't even safe in a home. Ain't that what she said? I think it was Gabor who was doing, he was talking about the Braxton family values. And if y'all don't follow Andrew Gabor 2.0, make sure y'all go follow him. He said he read a story where the little girl came out. She was like in a nightgown. It was like in some Disney princess nightgown. And the mama said, there's men in the house. The fact that you have to say that instead of kicking out the men who will harm the child is insane. Who is looking at this young girl like this? So when I see a grown mother who birthed her son watch her son trying to harm her daughter, and the wife watch her husband harm her sister-in-law, I instantly get to thinking, these hoes is sick in the brain. No young girl is safe. What is this grown man doing? 37, by the way. Almost 17 years, her senior. Grown man, by the way. What is his obsession with his sister? Why is he mad that a young boy is interested in his sister? That's a part of life. That's a part of nature. Do y'all see what I'm saying? When y'all be out here allowing these red pill, incel, I hate women, men, males talk, and y'all are shocked that women are saying, I don't want to participate in that. When they said, is having a boyfriend an embarrassment? Y'all act like y'all can't comprehend, but we see 2 + 2 = 4. Yeah. And this degenerate and loser, who's not even a top 10 athlete, said, oh, y'all got the story wrong. No, we got the story right, Playboy. We're not giving you privacy. Because why did you think it was okay to strangle your sister? Why did you think it was okay to lie on that young male who's only 17? Questions that need answers. I think we should be on his neck since he was so worried about the PUSSY of Megan Thee Stallion. No wonder he was worried. He don't like grown women. No wonder he was talking greasy like that. He don't like grown women. He likes children. I can always spot a predator, and I can always spot a hoe that's ready to keep up with a predator, because the mama ain't inch and neither is that wife, because they sat there and watched it. Locked them all up. Moving on, because this was sad to me. Let's see who's up in here. Hey, Lady Mahogany. Hey, Sharita. What's going on? Hey, Steve Patterson. What is going on? Hey. Hey, Charlie. Hey, Darius. Yes, smash that like button. Yes, he's very dangerous. And I also believe the mom set the daughter up too. Y'all know people are nasty. They be allowing incest to happen in their homes. There's a whole lady who's has a huge social media following, who birthed her children from her father. Hell ain't hot enough for y'all. I'm just saying, okay? And turn around and protect the man. It's disgusting. Disgusting. Okay? A girl ain't safe in a house full of men. That always rings a bell. I watch everybody. I be watching, when it comes to my nieces and nephew, I watch everybody. I watch the women and I watch the men, because I know some of y'all are so dense and so delusional. You will have your kids around a Kenneth Petty. You will have your kids around a Jeffrey Epstein. You will have your kids around a Donald Trump. I can't trust y'all. I can't trust y'all, because you will have your kids around a Ghislaine Maxwell. You will have your kids around the mama Tyler Perry wrote about when she said he wanted you. Y'all hate them Tyler Perry movies, but look at this. This is straight off the script of a Tyler Perry movie. Straight off the script. Y'all be so mad. Why are y'all mad at Tyler? Y'all give him the material. Look at the material. They watched him. It took an outsider to defend her. I pray when she's old enough, she can separate herself from them and live a beautiful, prosperous life. Cut them all off because they wanted you to die. I don't care how y'all feel about that. I don't care how y'all feel about that. That's controversial, but I don't give a damn. That's why I won't date until my daughter is grown and out the house. Okay? Matt Gaetz. Ciao. Okay. Thank you for liking the stream. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Hello, 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 hello. Welcome, 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 welcome. Welcome everybody. Just like this video. So let's get into these politics. These politics. Y'all know that's my favorite thing. I always love politics. I told y'all ever since I was able to vote, I've been into the politics. Matt Gaetz definitely needs to be under the child. The girls is just not safe. Thank you, Darius, baby. Shout out to the mods doing the work. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So let's get into these politics, because we have to talk about it. Shout out to the international and domestic base. Please get those likes up. Please share this out. Bless her. Okay. Bless the host by liking the video. That is the freest thing you can do. Liking the video. Okay. So I'm going to get into, because we got Stacey Plaskett up here. We're going to start with good old Stacey. So y'all know I gave Stacey a hard time because I said the fact that she wanted her name redacted from messaging with Jeffrey Epstein, I feel like that was crazy. But I stand by what I said. We're going to play what she said and let's get into it. So y'all ready? Let's go.
Happening in that hearing. And I got a text from Jeffrey Epstein, who at the time was my constituent, who was not public knowledge at that time that he was under federal investigation, and who was sharing information with me. Now, I heard recently from someone that I was seeking advice from him. Let me tell you something. I don't need to get advice on how to question anybody from any individual. I have been a lawyer for 30 years. I have been a narcotics prosecutor in New York City. I have had the honor of being a political appointee at the Justice Department after September 11th as a Republican appointee in the Bush administration. I know how to question individuals. I know how to seek information. I have sought information from confidential informants, from murderers, from other individuals, because I want the truth, not because I need them to tell me what to say. And if you look at the transcript, you will see that I questioned Michael Cohen for 5 minutes. The Washington Post only shows you 30 seconds. You want to talk about texting felons? How often do you text President Donald J. Trump? That's the individual we should be concerned about. And
listen, I still stand by what I said. I felt like she shouldn't have redacted her name, especially if she did nothing wrong. That's just how I personally feel about it, right? Because they're going to use everything to spin it. We've seen it, so why hide that? And she's not lying. He was definitely texting Donald Trump. He was emailing Donald Trump. He was emailing the associates. We have all that. Like I said, I don't have a favorite politician. You do something wrong, we'll talk about it. Hey, Psalm 23. It says, the Virgin Islands lady is defending her actions. She's definitely defending her actions because she is being held accountable. But everybody should be held accountable. It shouldn't just be, we shouldn't pick and choose. I don't like the picks and chooses because at the end of the day, like I said, She asked for her name to be redacted. I didn't like that. Don't redact the names. That's why I don't feel nothing about these Epstein files. Baby, Pam Bondi can go to hell. But this is where it stems from.
And I'll take it under advisement now, and it's not a problem in terms of attorney-client privilege. Yes, I will turn it over.
You, as my friend Mr. Meadows pointed out, misled this committee even today in a written submission that contradicted your testimony. You suggested you were going to review that. Did you review? Are you going to review it in our next break to correct the record? Yes or no?
Yes.
Question: you helped out the president's campaign, or were involved in the campaign as a representative, as a spokesman. Even in your words today, it was your idea for the campaign dating back to 2011. Is that accurate? Yes or no?
Yes.
2011 is a year that sticks in my head. For it's the year my daughter was born, and it was the year I was diagnosed with cancer. I was not then pushing for Donald Trump to be president. I was fighting cancer.
You've mentioned some individuals to my colleague from New York, Ms. Connolly, and also in your testimony about Mr. Eisenberg and other individuals, Ms. Rona. Who are those individuals? Are they with the Trump organization?
They
and
are.
Are there other people that we should be meeting with?
So, Alan Weisselberg is the chief financial officer.
You got to quickly give us as many names as you can so we can get to them.
Yes, ma'am.
As Ms. Rona, what is Ms. Rona's position?
Rona Graff is Mr. Trump's executive assistant.
And would she be able to corroborate many of the statements that you've made here?
Yes, her office is directly next to his, and she's involved in a lot that went on.
And I yield back at this time.
Committee will now stand in recess again. We will come back. Listen up, 35 minutes after the last vote begins. So,
And there you have it. Listen, I feel like this. If we start playing tit-tat and all this and that, no. Own up what you did. You did it, Miss Thing. Let's not act like the Virgin Islands is absolved of anything because, like you said, he was a constituent of yours. He was a constituent of many people's. Florida, New York, Virgin Islands. And guess what he was doing at all those places? Yes, I don't know. Doing things with the minors. So, again, I'm not causing you the blame, but why did you redact your name? That's what I want to know. That is something I felt like, if he gave you the stuff, you would not have been able to ask Michael Cohen anything had you not got the information from him. So what kind of deal were you working with Jeffrey Epstein? I stand by that. I'm not mincing words. I'm not saying, oh my God. No, I said what I said and I meant what I said. What was that about? Let's circle back to that. How did he get your number? 1. 2, what were y'all canoodling, convincing, texting, exchanging conversations with for you to be so trusting and to use his words? Because those were not your words. Those were his words. See, if we're going to play politics, you got to be better. Lie better, sister. Lie better, sister, because I don't care. I don't have a favorite politician. What were you trying to work out with him for him to be so eager to give you this information? That's all I want to know. That's all I want to know. So we're going to get into, Miss Jasmine Crockett, because I feel like, I get it. I understand. I hear it. Yes. But I also am not a fool. I'm also not team anybody. I told y'all the day I stopped being a Barb and getting into this, I'm a team Barb and team Nikki and all this other BS. I said, I'm not team anybody. Let's be team the truth. See, the truth ain't palatable. The truth is hard to understand sometimes. The truth is real tricky. The truth will have you out here looking like a fool. But guess what? You're being honest. And if the people don't believe you, fight harder. Fight harder. Fight harder.
This is a distraction to take away from the fact that the Guardians of Pedophiles is literally trying to protect pedophiles. The president is a convicted felon and an accused sex offender. Stacey Plaskett hasn't been accused of either. So what are we actually here talking about? Trump and Epstein were besties. We've all seen the pictures of them. We saw the birthday book. So why are y'all more interested in talking about Stacey Plaskett than Trump's relationship with the man? When did y'all become so moral? Because I can remember when y'all went and signed discharge petition. All of a sudden, everybody wanted to vote for this, but you wouldn't sign the discharge petition. Until we decide that we are going to go after the actual rapists and pedophiles, miss me with your moral high ground. Folks who also took money from somebody named Jeffrey Epstein, as I had my team dig in very quickly. Mitt Romney, the NRCC, Lee Zeldin, George Bush, Win Red, McCain Palin, Rick Lazio. I just want to be clear. If this is the standard that we're going to make, just know we're going to expose it all. And just know that the FEC filings, they are available for everybody to review. This is absolutely ridiculous. You decide that you want to punish a sitting member of Congress because you are concerned about her text messages. Well, maybe you should be more concerned about those sex tapes that we still haven't gotten access to. Maybe you should be more concerned with the fact that the president, his name is mentioned in the files way more than Stacey Plaskett's name. Listen, I'm not saying that anything is right or wrong, but listen, if you're trying to figure out what's going on with somebody that's a criminal, then you maybe need to talk to their associates.
And I want it all. I want it all, and I feel they should all be let it all hang out. Let it all hang out. Let it all hang out. Listen, because I'm not distracted. Why were y'all taking the money? Why were y'all taking the money? What was y'all doing with the money? What was that about? Yeah, and Stacey, come on this side, Miss Mamas. Why were you texting that man? Everybody can get it. I'm an equal opportunist. And that's why the girls don't like me. Because I'm not out here saying, well, I just like this one and that one. No. Release all the names. We need to see the dirt, the grime. We need to be in shock and awe. We don't need to see, oh, well, in the words of my fave, she said, lawyer up. She said, lawyer up. Look. And I'm going to play that for you too. Baby, MAGA is imploding. They are in shambles because only one person said they didn't want the files to come out. I think they should come out. Don't black out nobody's name. Let all their business hang out. We need to see it because let's hold it. These good Christians, if y'all are true good Christians, y'all should want the truth. Isn't that what the Bible say? Stand on the truth, stand on the principles of the morals. Y'all always talk about the good Christian values in the good book. Let's do it. Unless y'all don't care about the children. And I've been telling y'all they don't care about the children. Why would they care? They need the children. They need to cause harm. You guys just don't get it. Y'all don't understand their thirst for the children. That's why y'all not out here outraged about a Patrick Beverly. So why would you be outraged about a Jeffrey Epstein? Y'all don't care about the girls because they not all blonde hair and blue-eyed. Because they didn't come from good families. Because they daddy don't have billions in the bank. Because they don't have natural resources we can use. What did Donald Trump say? Guns a-blazing? My homeboy Aaron will be so proud. My homeboy Aaron would be so proud. He got in trouble for saying guns a-blazing at a meeting. They thought he was being violent. Is Psalm 23 in here? She remembers that. And you got Donald Trump talking about guns a-blazing in Nigeria. He said some of the Nigerian people aren't going to be happy about this, but we're going in guns a-blazing. What happened to that good Christian talk Nicki Minaj was talking about? So we're going to see violence with more violence? See, this is what Tamika Mallory was talking about. She don't know what she's signing up for. I get it. Tamika Mallory was part of the Black Lives Matter, and she really didn't say anything when Candace Owens was turning it inside out. I understand that. That is her burden to bear, right? But imagine being an international phenom, the queen of rap, and you go out here and talk about the Christians are being persecuted, and Donald Trump said last week, we're sending them in guns a-blazing. With a good Christian? Child, what prayer gonna combat that? Y'all not ready. Y'all not ready because y'all can't even tell y'all faves they stupid. Y'all can't even tell y'all faves they're intellectually dense. Y'all not ready because y'all can't even tell y'all faves like, girl, what's not clicking? You clicking down, sister. Y'all not ready. Y'all not ready for that. Y'all not ready for that. Y'all not ready. Let's get into it.
Argument that the Speaker Johnson is making that essentially the risk of this is that there will be non-credible allegations against people, and it risks creating new victims, meaning people who are maybe named but haven't actually done anything wrong, and that their names will get dragged through the mud as a result of this.
Lawyer up. I mean, that's about the best I can tell you. Lawyer up. I want to put something. Yeah, Scott, lawyer up.
You think innocent people should have to get
No,
lawyers?
no, I don't, because that's
her question to you.
That's
Is
the
what
reason why I
happens if
fight
innocent
civil
people-
rights, because I know plenty of
If innocent people get their
I
name
know
dragged
plenty-
through the mud, you say get a lawyer?
You need a lawyer because the files are getting released. So get a lawyer to defend you. I don't think it's right, but I know
you
you're not.
think innocent people
I know
should
you're
need
not
lawyers?
talking to my community about me and my community.
I'm asking if innocent people
let
need
me
to get
answer.
lawyers.
Oh, I know plenty of innocent people that end up getting in the wrong place, wrong time. So get lawyers. But let me, excuse me. I want to put something on the table that I thought what Representative O'Connor said today, Abby, that I found very disturbing when he was talking about this is not what our country's founded on. It actually is. There's another president by the name of Thomas Jefferson who raped 14-year-old Sally Hemings. He was 40 years old. So what we're talking about right now has been going on, not just the thousands of women you're talking about in high school, it's been going on since the beginning of time with powerful men who have taken advantage of young girls and then tried to make it be a love story. So no, I don't think innocent people should have their name disparaged. What I'm trying to tell you is the files are being released. So if you're in the file and you didn't do anything wrong, then yeah, lawyer up. Because it's coming out and people need to know what's going on.
Let Josh.
Yes, lawyer up, honey. Because I'm not in the files. I'm not in the files. Lawyer up. Listen, the victims are speaking. Cash Patel, I say you are an idiot. And I say that with 10 toes on the ground. They are going to use you as the face of failure of the FBI, because like I said, Donald Trump, our beloved president, doesn't have a Dick Cheney. He don't have a Nancy Pelosi. He don't have a Hillary Clinton. He don't have a Condoleezza Rice. He don't have a General Powell, Colin Powell at that. He don't have that. He don't have a Winston Churchill. He don't. He have a bunch of fools. And that was his failure. Because in order to do the things that Donald Trump is doing at this rate, he should have had somebody with some pizzazz, some intellect, somebody who's a good wordsmith, right? Because we know in any good war, you need a strong leader to stand in the face of adversity to fight back. It doesn't matter what's going on. Where is your Winston Churchill? Where is your Condoleezza Rice? You need someone in the midst of the chaos to get on TV and say, we don't negotiate with terrorists. Nancy Pelosi. See, the problem is you didn't keep nobody who could have kept the fabric of J. Edgar Hoover's FBI together. We know what the Alphabet Boys have been doing for centuries, right? The web of lies. Who is your person? Cash Patel is not going to fall by himself. Mark my words. But let's get into it. Because y'all are about to hear something. Y'all going to hear about the hard truth. I told you, I don't do the left and the right and the left and the right. Listen, primary them. Primary them. Because there's no way we should be hearing this.
But given the political noise surrounding this case, I just want to remind people of some of the facts. In 1996, my sister Maria bravely blew the whistle on this group by reporting to the FBI what Epstein and Maxwell did to both of us. They hung up on the phone on her, and there was no follow-up of any kind. Bill Clinton was president. In 2006, the FBI came to us, finally interviewed us, and asked us both to be witnesses against Epstein. We were very anxious, but we agreed. And then we didn't hear back from them due to their infamous sweetheart deal. George W. Bush was president. In 2015, when the DOJ was sent FOIA request for Maria's FBI files, and they were denied, as they have been many times. Barack Obama was president. In 2019, when Epstein died in prison due to either negligence or foul play, Donald Trump was president. In 2023, Maria's attorneys sent a letter on her behalf to the government, requesting an investigation into the repeated law enforcement failures in this case, similar to what was done in the case of Larry Nassar. They declined to do so. Consequently, my sister filed notice that she would be suing the government for failing to uphold its legal, ethical, and moral duties in this case. Joe Biden was president. This year, after campaigning on a pledge to finally release the files, under Trump's second presidency, the DOJ announced they were closing the investigation into Epstein's co-conspirators and then transferred Ghislaine Maxwell into a prison camp where it is well documented that she is receiving special treatment. This is not an issue of a few corrupt Democrats or a few corrupt Republicans. This is a case of institutional betrayal. Because these crimes were not properly investigated, so many more girls and women were harmed. My sister, because of her bravery, was repeatedly threatened and lived in fear with dire consequences for her health and her career. 30 years later, even as oceans of allegations and obvious truths have emerged, the government has still not chosen transparency. This is why we have all come together as one united voice to demand the release of all the Epstein files and to finally bring the truth out of the shadows.
Listen, and I think they should keep talking and keep exposing, say the names, say the businesses. I want to know. I want to know who's in bed with the predators. I want to know because I'm an advocate of children. Y'all know that. The OG babes know that. Some of the new babes don't know this. I am an advocate for children because children don't have a voice. Children don't fight for themselves. I've always, if there's some type of, what do they call it? Type of boot camp or halfway house or something, I do that. I did it in DC. I did it out in San Antonio. I always go speak and read to the kids. I read to the kids every week because I feel like the kids don't have anything. Anything dealing with the children, I am there because I know children are the future. See, I know some of you are so demented and demonic. Y'all care nothing about the children because nobody cared about you. Because nobody cared about you. Nobody protected you. So you feel like, I don't care. Or you're a part of the predatory behavior as the Patrick Beverlys and the Donald Trumps and the Jeffrey Epsteins and the Larry Ellisons and them. Yeah. And the Maxwells and the Andrews. Shout out to Duchess Fergie for getting her karma back. She had to wait a long time. But sister, you got your karma. She been telling the truth about that man for the longest, and they kicked her out. And she went out with pride. She said, my kids need to keep their title. Give it up for Duchess Fergie. She been through a lot. Shout out to you, sister. You finally got your get back when you was out here telling us about that man and how he was treating you and the things you found, and they didn't want to listen, and they isolated you, and you went into shame. And you let the tabloids say whatever they wanted to say about you, and now you being welcomed back. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. Yes. Yes. May it all crumble. May it all crumble. Because if we're not protecting the children, who's protecting them? Who's protecting them? Who's protecting them? You can't say you care about children and everything you do is anti-child. See, some of y'all don't even know. Y'all be like, y'all get on here and y'all plead the blood. Oh, y'all don't give a damn about them kids. Y'all get up here, do y'all big ones, and y'all be like, oh, it's this one, it's this one. It's all of them. It's all of them. Because shout out to this good man from Tennessee.
Somebody asked me if I was going to wear my jacket up there, and I said, to quote the immortal words of Henry Winkler when he played the Fonz, I always rumble in this jacket. Because that's what we're up against. This is a fist fight, folks. This is, everybody talks about this place being a dadgum swamp. It's not a swamp. A swamp is something cool God created. It filters water. Animal life lives and flourishes around it. This is a sewer. This is created by man, and it needs to stop. We've, for years, Congress has been using hardworking American taxpayers' money to get rich. Dadgum, it's got to stop. America knows what the heck's going on. Everybody wants to knock Pelosi. Heck, she's not even in the top 10. Get on that unusual whale site. This is pathetic, folks. We all know what's going on. Congress knows what the hell's going on, and it needs to stop. This body has been enriching itself on the taxpayers' dime for too dadgum long, and it's got to stop. This place is crooked and is crooked as a dog's leg. That's an old East Tennessee saying, but it's the truth. And it needs to stop. America knows what's going on. We're in committee meetings. We hear things before y'all do. We can make those connections. When you see a member of this body making 400, 500, 600 trades a year, you know something's wrong. And I want to say something. I'm going to get these guys mad at me, but I really don't care because they can't vote in my district. This thing ain't going to pass. If we're going to pass something in the House, and then guess what? The Senate will either, one, not take it up, or they'll come back in righteous indignation and say, oh, we need to make this stronger, something totally ridiculous, and they'll send it back to us. This is a scam that's being played on the American public, and it needs to stop. Let's quit with this nonsense. Let's give America a reason to trust Congress for once in our miserable lives. This is our chance to stand up and say, we hear what you're saying, America. We're going to fix this dadgum problem, but we probably won't do it. And I'll remain ticked off the rest of the day because of this.
And this was Republican Tim Burchett from Tennessee slammed the practice of lawmakers trading stocks or investments using the political access to privileged information. I love it. I love that everybody is getting riled up because we need it. We need it because if y'all are scared to do it, who's going to do it? Like he said, the people who are mad, they don't even vote in his district. He don't give a damn. And that's how y'all need to be. Texas. Y'all thought I was letting y'all off the hook? This is how I know MAGA's imploding. Y'all ready? Now, y'all know I've been a good voter of Texas for a long time. I'm always going to vote for the best interest of me. You should vote in the best interest of you. But let's get into why MAGA is seeing that they're losing. Because I have AOC up here. We're going to get into what she said. But I want y'all to hear this from Steve Bannon.
Let me tell you about a Texas State Senate race that Steve Bannon thinks will change the world and what you can do about it.
As Tarrant County goes, so goes Texas. As Texas goes, so goes the world.
He said that about a runoff election happening January 31st in Tarrant County. And who's the Republican
Dallas
candidate that Bannon is backing? Lee Wamsgans. And here's what you need to know about her.
Now talk to us about the PAC. As I said last night, one of the keys is these school boards, right? The school boards are the key that picks the lock. Talk to us about what you did in Tarrant County with these school boards.
Well, I would love to take credit for that, but one of our, Lee Wamsgans, she is the executive director of the PAC. She puts hundreds and hundreds and thousands of hours of interviewing candidates, etc. We went and found, I believe, 11 candidates last cycle, and we supported them. And we won every seat. We took over
11 seats on school boards, took over 4. Can we hear it for him?
That was the CEO of a cell phone company bragging to Steve Bannon about taking over 4 school boards. And Lee Wamsgans, she ran the operation that did it as executive director of Patriot Mobile Action. One of those school boards, Keller ISD, right in the district she wants to represent. And listen how they describe their mission.
Every time we're attacked at Patriot Mobile, our sales just go through the roof. We increase our sales. And so what does increasing our sales mean? It means we can give more money back to organizations like Moms for Liberty.
Patriot Mobile funded school board takeovers. They bragged about it to Bannon. Now they're scaling up to the state senate. Bannon said it. As Tarrant County goes, so goes Texas. They see this seat as the first domino in taking over the state. But there's another candidate, Kayla Remitt, a Democrat who can flip the seat if Tarrant County shows up. While they're focused on spiritual warfare and national takeovers, voters deserve a state senator focused on them, not Steve Bannon's agenda. Early voting starts January 21st, Election Day, January 31st. Texas State Senate District 9. Vote, share this. Let's prove Bannon right about this race changing everything, just not the way he expected.
And it became a runoff election. I just want y'all to know because that veteran they were talking about, Taylor, they didn't expect him to win. Y'all see the games they play? Nasty work. While Governor Abbott is out here making plans with databases, the AI people are asking for a bailout. AOC went to Congress and said, if the AI bubble pops, which it will pop, Mark my words. What's today? Today is Jovi's birthday, November 20th. Happy birthday, Jovi. November 20th, it's Thursday, November 20th, 2025. The AI bubble will pop. Mark my words. The AI bubble will pop. How do I know the AI bubble will pop? Because I don't know. There's this thing I've seen where if it's not being used at a high level and grand scale, guess what happens? It tends to fall by the wayside. They acting like they got a Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs died and then all the innovators just disappeared. See, this is what happens when y'all do these planned attacks on these economists, on these humanitarians, these people with humanities degrees. Y'all ready? Y'all listening? This is what happens when y'all start isolating and taking them out. And people are falling by the wayside from natural causes. And y'all thought the AI bubble was going to win? Y'all thought it was going to be flourishing? I told y'all, until y'all do right by women, it will never flourish. It's giving vagina envy. It's giving womb envy. Y'all don't even care about the human aspect of AI. Hence why AI is trash. AI is tied to some of the most degenerate things out here. Let's think about it, shall we? Adult entertainment. Stealing voices of artists. Hijacking paperwork of those who come from disenfranchised economic structures. It don't even know what to do because it causes people to plagiarize. It causes people to steal and grift. Y'all couldn't even be nice to the animators, the cartoonists. And y'all thought AI was supposed to be successful. I knew AI was trash when they started selling them NFTs. I knew then. I said, I'm not buying into this. No. They wanted y'all to be so comfortable with the Instacart, the DoorDash, the Uber Eats, the Postmates, and everything else, that you would just accept AI. Absolutely not. Y'all have been fighting back. Shout out to the girlies who watch a little iRobot. Shout out to the girlies who read a couple books talking about how AI was going to be taking over. Shout out to the girls who sat out here and said, it's giving vagina envy, womb envy. It's harming the economy. It's destroying the planet. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all fighting back and kicking it out of y'all towns because y'all tired of drinking tainted water. It needs all this water, but y'all not doing nothing to help the planet. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to the girls who are going out into the land and praying over the land. Shout out to the women who are going out into the water, praying into the water. Shout out to all the natives who are talking to the sun and the stars. Shout out to all the tarot girlies. Shout out to all the Bible girlies. Because y'all are doing the work. You see, people are just falling by the wayside. They are no longer buying into the BS. Tarrant County, I expect y'all to show up. I expect y'all to show up and show out. I expect y'all to spread the word. January 21st is the earliest you can go out there and start voting. January 21st, because we know if we just sit back and let it happen, they're going to take us all out. This is why they're not finding, the girls. This is why they're slowly and quietly dismantling the Department of Education. This is why they're stripping away the nurses' degrees. Now they're making it to where it's not even a cause for higher education because so many of you are making so much money and getting freedom through the nursing program. You see, they always try to make it harder when the women are out here doing something to better themselves. They hate it. They're stripping you of your rights right before your eyes, and y'all want to look at these pick-me's, talk about you don't need a higher education. Baby, they have been talking about how they hate being housewives since the 1950s, 60s, 70s, hell, the 1900s. I tell y'all all the time, women used to drink spoiled milk not to have babies, and y'all be like, babies are a blessing. Babies are a blessing. Babies are a blessing, only if you're white, rich and what, rich and what, a child, rich and what, a child, rich and what, a child, rich and white, not a child like 8, but a child like almost legal. That's the only time I'll care. They trying to lower the age of consent, pump the schools with religion, so y'all can be too slow to even fight back. Babies are a blessing. Babies are a blessing. Only if you're white. Only if you're white. A child in white. A child in white. Barely legal. Barely legal. Child. A child. They want to sleep with your children. 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 If they have no education, they only know the good book. You see how easy it is to pray? This is why they're trying to dismantle everything. Fight back. When are you going to get into that spirit? When are you going to get into that spirit? When are you going to adopt that spirit? When? Y'all are out here fighting with content creators because they're like, hey, I don't agree. And y'all are like, Nikki is the best. You hoes just don't like Christians. My God, today. Hey, MAGA is doing this. Donald Trump is the best. You just don't like patriotism. They are stripping the rights away from veterans. They're stripping the rights of veterans. They're lowering the age of consent. They're dismantling the Department of Education. They're making it harder for you to be a nurse. They're saying that's not even a professional degree. So if there's no nurses, there's nobody studying to get anything. What do they want y'all to do? They want you to be a slave. A slave. Say it with me, guys. A slave. S-L-A-V-E. A slave. Say it with me one more time. They want you to be a slave. Say it with me. It's so romantic picking cotton. It's so romantic being some man's concubine. It's so romantic breeding. Oh my God. The Handmaid's Tale is so sexy. Women learning is disgusting. Women having an education, disgusting. Women thinking for themselves, oh my God, disgusting. Hand over your children, yes, because children are barely legal. Children are barely legal. If it ain't white, it ain't right. Yes. We gotta do this Marty style because some of y'all don't be, what's not clicking? Okay, who wants to leave the kitchen? Y'all better get in there and be Betty Home Crockers, Molly the Maids. Put on your maid outfit like you always do. They loved when women were on the drugs, birthing their babies. They loved when women were drinking themselves to death. They loved when women didn't have autonomy over their bodies. They love it. They love it. Why won't y'all just buy into it? These men don't know any better because y'all won't marry them. If you just marry the men and just be a slave, it's so much better. Why think? You don't even have to think when you're with a man. Let him have full access to you. Birth your children and then sell your children. Oh my God, it's not even that bad. They do it everywhere. They do it in Asia. Like, my great-great-great-great-grandfather used to own people. It's not that bad. They're indentured servants. It's not slavery. Victims. Thomas Jefferson loved Sally. He birthed her. He gave her children. Her children are half white. They have Thomas Jefferson's blood. She should be thankful. Duh. Like, get into it. Yeah. What's wrong with being pregnant and high on the drugs? Just smile and be a lady. Jesus. Like, y'all are complaining. Look at Melania. She's so regal. She's so happy. Like, just go pray for Nigeria. What's wrong with y'all? Jeez. Like, use your brain. Oh my goodness. My president said, you don't need to do any of that stuff. You just need to be pretty and ready. Whatever your husband say, you should do it. If he says cook, you should say, what kind of meal? If he says jump, you should say, how high? The nerve of you, women, oh my gosh. I hate feminism. It's such a lame thing to say. Let's see. Did I find it? Let's see. Child, and they still haven't released the Epstein files. So it was 2 weeks ago. It says President Donald Trump on Saturday threatened to send U.S. forces into Nigeria with guns a-blazing if Africa's most popular country does not stem what he described as killing of Christians by Islamics. Does he say it? Is it in this one? Because I need him to say it. That was the part that had me cracking up. I said, what? No, I don't think he says it in this one. He said, guns a-blazing, right? In an explosive post on his Truth Social, the Republican leader who had campaigned unsuccessfully for the Nobel Peace Prize said he asked the Pentagon to map out possible plan of attack one day after warning that Christianity was facing an existential threat in Nigeria. If the Nigerian government continues to allow the killing of Christians, the USA will immediately stop all aid and assistance to Nigeria, and we may very well go into that now disgraced country, guns a-blazing, to completely wipe out the Islamic terrorists who are committing these horrible atrocities, he said. I'm hereby instructing our Department of War to prepare for possible action. If we attack, it will be fast, vicious, and sweet. Just like the terrorist thugs attack our cherished Christians, he added, warning Nigerian government they better move fast. In March, U.S. Congressman Chris Smith called for Nigeria to be listed by the State Department as a country of particular concern. Y'all do know the oil reserves have been depleted in America. Y'all do know that, right? But it's not my job to tell Nicki Minaj this. You know, Nicki Minaj is allowing herself with powerful people. It's given she has some type of debt with these people, because I don't understand why she would decide to talk about Nigeria and nothing about Trinidad and what's going on with Venezuela. Her home country, where she was birthed, where she was born, where she was raised. I'm just confused. Confusion. So, excuse me if I don't get it. You know, the Barbs decided to drink the Kool-Aid. This is how I know if it was up to them, they would be over there with Jim Jones and his people who went to Never Never Land. Never heard of them, never seen them again. Because they just buy in so easily. Kudos to her. She has to live with that. Like Tamika Mallory said, split on her hands. She doesn't care. She wants to sell albums. It's given she has a Christian album coming out because it's not making sense. I find it strange. She said nothing about Palestine, Gaza, but she's so hooked on Nigeria. Maybe because she needs some of those resources. Maybe she has some ties. Maybe somebody gave her a little something behind the scenes we don't know about. We'll find out about. Don't worry. We always find out about what's going on with Nicki. Always. Always. The girls be mad, but I be spot on the money. When I told y'all Nicki Minaj was broke, y'all got mad at me. Y'all said I hated her. I'm obsessed. And I was like, how am I obsessed? Because I'm telling y'all she's broke. I'm telling y'all that so y'all can go support. But what do I know? She didn't say nothing about the shutdown. She didn't care. Her Christian values didn't care that they wanted to starve the children, but she cares about the Christians in Nigeria. Child, make it make sense to me, because the math don't be mathing enough, and the girls be giving, you know, stuck on stupid. But like I said, if it ain't white, it ain't right. Okay? Maybe she's not a feminist. You know, it amazes me when people are put in weird positions, the things that they will do. The things you'll do for love. See what happens when you don't go heal? I mean, I can't imagine. I think it's funny. It's hilarious. Because Nicki's homegirl, Milagro, was out here doing all types of ish. And now she getting spanked. Milagro is getting spanked. If y'all believe for a second Nicki is not tied to Milagro Grams, I'm here to tell y'all something. Don't be no fool. Do not be no fool. Why was she searching for Tasha K's address and Armand Wiggins' address? Y'all don't think that's suspicious? Y'all don't think that's suspicious? These are people who are tied to Nicki Minaj, mind you. Y'all keep thinking Nicki is innocent. Nicki is a calculated girl. Y'all didn't even know she was going to the UN until the UN thing happened. How is it that she was out here looking for Tasha K's address? Why? Armand's address. Why? Storm Monroe's address. Why? Y'all think Milagro was doing this all on her own? I'm not saying Milagro is dumb. I'm not saying Milagro's dumb. I'm not saying she's far from stupid. But she was actively searching. We haven't seen Tasha K say nothing out loud about this UN stuff. How come Tasha's not down at the courthouse? Don't she want to know who's involved financially? I'm just saying. It's a mess. It's a mess, baby. Scorpio season has been, nasty November. But, y'all, that's all I have for y'all. Comment down below. We have to go. Mark my words. When this trial is over, I'm going to tell y'all my thoughts. because y'all don't know how to bet properly. Y'all betting against that Aquarius who had to sit there and watch these hoes plot against her, and she know which hoes plotted against her. They're saying, oh, it wasn't the bigger platforms. Oh no, she gonna get them too. She's getting a 2-for-1 special. And on that note, comment down below. I gotta go. Bye, hoes.